Hello, I'm Reema Chandra and welcome to Cooking Without Boundaries. Hi, good to be back again. I'm Reema and this is Cooking Without Boundaries. After I heard from some of you who watched my earlier episodes, some of you called, some of you emailed, and it was so good to hear from you. I felt I should perhaps do another episode of 5 essential spices and sort of reinforce what we talked about earlier. So the 5 spices that we are going to use today are going to be mixed together, and we're going to use all of these spices together in 4 dishes that we're going to make today. So let's refresh our memory of 5 essential spices that I recommend you should have in your pantry. Let's look here. We will start with our usual black pepper. Every kitchen has it, almost every kitchen has it. And then I went on to saying we should have cumin seeds, which is you can find it in your supermarket wherever it is. You don't have to go to a special grocery store. We also talked about coriander seeds. Coriander seeds are basically the seeds from cilantro plant, and it's dried, so it has a little nutty flavor. We also agreed on turmeric, which is the most vibrant color coming straight from Mother Nature to our kitchen. And then we have the red chilies here, which are dried, which is what brings heat to your food. You can control the heat in your food, and I did talk about heat index in one of the episodes. So depending upon how much of these red chilies you use are going to make your food hot, spicy hot or not. So the 5 essential spices are black pepper, cumin, coriander seeds, turmeric powder, and dry red chilies. We're going to combine all of these 5 spices in one grind and then use a spoon or 2 of those in 4 dishes that we are going to make today. So let's get started with cooking. Bombay bruschetta. As the name suggests, it probably has something to do with Bombay, and which is now known as Mumbai. There is a very popular street food in Mumbai which is known as pav bhaji, and it's basically a mix of all mushy vegetables together, put on a bun of white bread and eat that. It's quick lunch. It's sometimes served as appetizer, and today I'm going to put a twist to that and make an appetizer for our parties. So the name is Bombay bruschetta. As the name suggests, we'll make vegetables together, mix it together, cook it, and then serve it over bruschetta. For that you need 1 cup, well, first let's start with oil. 2 tablespoons oil in a hot pan. The flame should be about medium. And then we add half a cup chopped onion. Don't know if you can hear the sizzling sound of onion there. Let's stir it. It's a very quick and delicious vegetarian dish. So great option for nowadays. More and more people are asking for vegetarian options, so this gives you that freedom. We will saute onion for about 3 to 5 minutes, and when it starts turning pink, we will add other ingredients. Onions look ready for taking other ingredients. We will now add half cup chopped tomatoes. Saute that, and while we are doing that, we will add 1 teaspoon of ginger paste. If you remember, I had given you a tip of how to make ginger paste. Just grind ginger roots, peeled, chopped ginger roots with water in a blender, and that will give you ginger paste. Red onion is something that we may not have in our kitchen. Whatever onions you have, I don't always use red onion in my cooking. Sometimes I have white or yellow. Whatever I have, I'll use that. Today I happen to have red, so I decided to use it. We will, now that we are stirring it and the ginger is getting cooked, we're going to add 1 teaspoon of the pounded 5 essential spices that we talked about, and here it goes. I just lightly pounded it and saute it for another minute or 2 on medium flame. Oh, the aroma of spices are getting released in the air, and I can smell it. It's really good. Another minute of sauteing it, we will add salt, sugar, vegetables together, and then cook them for 5 more minutes. So the onion, tomatoes, the spices have all mixed together, and they are smelling nice, cooking together very well. We're going to add now, that was quarter teaspoon of sugar, half a teaspoon of salt. I took some frozen mixed vegetables and microwaved them for about 3 to 4 minutes, and here they go in. 1 cup of that, and 1 cup of chopped cooked potatoes. So I put that in as well. And while I'm cooking that, I will also add about 1/4 cup of chopped cilantro. I'm going to save tiny bit, maybe half a teaspoon of cilantro for later on garnishing. So turn the flame lower, because most of the things in this pan right now are already cooked. All you are doing now, mixing them together, infusing each other's aroma in them, and getting the mix together for your bruschetta. And while you are stirring it, I recommend using a flat wooden spatula and do a mushy movement with your hand so that they all mix together very well. Looks very good. We will add half a cup of hot water to it. Put the lid on, let it simmer for about 2 minutes, and we'll be done. Here is our bread. Top it up. Try to bring some green in it or carrots so that you have some color. Looks very good, smells wonderful, and I have no doubts that it'll taste very good as well. See how quick it was, and you can prepare the Bombay veggie mix ahead of time, put it in your fridge. You can have the bread ready to go. And when it is time for partying, or even if you have surprise visitors, just prepare this quickly and serve it with wine. Riesling goes very well with it. So here it is. Bombay bruschetta is ready. Minced meat in a crispy cup. You probably have never heard of this one because I just made it up last night. A friend of mine was saying that, putting together a quick appetizer is always a challenge. Oftentimes, she was complaining that she sees people not serving good appetizers at parties or at dinners. So I said, part of the reason is that it could be a lot of work for the host. So I came up with something very quick and something very healthy to serve at your dinners, and it's called minced meat in a crispy cup. For that, we would need a bunch of ingredients and the 5-spice mix. Let's start with oil. In a hot pan on medium flame, we would put about 2 tablespoons of oil because we are using 1 pound of ground turkey or ground chicken, or you can substitute it with ground beef or pork, any meat that you want. So I coat the pan with oil and I'll add half a cup of chopped red onion. As I said, today I had red onion in my pantry, so that's what I'm cooking with. 2 minutes of sauteing onions, chopped onions, and we will add spices, tomatoes, salt and sugar, followed by meat. Onions look ready. I'm going to add now 1 teaspoon. Actually, this is meat, so we'll add 1 teaspoon of ground 5 spices and mix in together. Add 1 teaspoon of garlic paste, 1 teaspoon of ginger paste. Stir it together. Oh, smells wonderful. Smell of fresh spices cooking on your stove top gets your appetite going, gets your kids running to the kitchen. So it's a great idea to be cooking at home something so quickly, so tasty, and so healthy. Here comes half a cup of chopped tomatoes. Stir it in together, saute it for 2 more minutes. Quarter teaspoon of sugar, 1 teaspoon of salt, I will now switch over to the flat wooden spatula to mush tomatoes here. Add quarter cup of cilantro, chopped cilantro, and 1 pound of ground meat. Any meat will do. I'm using ground turkey. Mix it well together and cook it until you feel the turkey is cooked, roughly around 15 to 20 minutes. And you'll need to stir it frequently because they form big clumps of meat if you don't break them. Looks very good. I'm trying to break these clumps here so that it becomes all one nice mix of ground meat and all the other spices. I will put the lid back on for another 5 minutes and it should be ready. Here we are. with minced meat, in this case turkey, that we prepared with onion, garlic, ginger, tomatoes and the 5 spices. And now we're going to fill them up in little crispy cups and serve it as appetizer. So let's do that. You put very little, top it up with cilantro and do another one, very little again, and just 1 leaf of cilantro there, and on and on. It is it's just so quick, so healthy, so tasty, and something that you can do in your own kitchen. You can also serve this minced meat over bruschetta, so that's another variation of it. Coming out of boundaries is always very important. So this is what it looks like, and we go on filling all of it one by one, and send the tray around or set it out on table. So a friend of mine called me and said, Reema, can you make something other than just chicken and fish, maybe a lamb dish? So I said, why not? And today, while I was doing the 5 spice thing again to reinforce what we talked about spices in our earlier episodes, I said, let's make 5 spice lamb stew. Something very comforting, something very quick to make, easy, healthy, tasty, and here we go. So again, we start with 2 tablespoons of cooking oil in a non-stick pan on low medium flame. Add 1 cup of chopped onion. Any onion will do. Stir it. The moment onion starts cooking, its aroma is so appetizing. I'm very good at tasting my food while cooking them. This gives me a sense of has it come to my specs or not. Hope you do the same. Don't hold yourself back. This will again saute for 2 minutes or so, and we will then add other ingredients like ginger garlic paste. This one we are also using a bay leaf, some chopped scallions, tomatoes, and the mix of 5 essential spices. So we'll come back to it. It's interesting how some of the feedbacks that I have received for my earlier episodes, one of the viewers was particularly concerned about getting my clothes dirty while cooking. So she suggested that I should wear apron while standing near the stove. So today you're seeing me wear an apron while near the stove, and something that I would highly recommend to you also. Onion is ready. We are going to now add 1 teaspoon of ginger paste, 1 teaspoon of garlic paste, 1 bay leaf, 2 teaspoons of freshly pounded all the 5 spices. Stir it together, give it a few seconds while the spices are releasing their essential oils and getting roasted in the process. Smells wonderful. And we add tomatoes after this. Let's add tomatoes. This is half a cup of chopped tomatoes. Stir it together. 1/4 teaspoon sugar, 1 teaspoon salt. Stir it all together and let it get cooked all of it together in the pan while they are infusing aroma into each other. I'm going to cover it with a lid and let it simmer and cook and infuse aroma into each other for another 3 minutes or so, somewhere from 2 to 4 minutes, roughly 3 minutes, and we'll come back to it. Oh, I cannot believe how good it is smelling. I wish you were here to experience that with me. I'm sure you will do it in your kitchen. Let's add half a cup of chopped scallions and 1 pound of boneless, thinly sliced or thinly chopped lamb pieces. So here it goes. Mix it together well. At this point, the flame should be medium while we are stirring the spices and lamb together. Then when you leave a meat kind of product to simmer and get cooked on stove, you should keep the flame to low so that things don't dry up quickly. Here it is, everything mixed together. Again, I'll cover it with lid and let it simmer and cook while we stir it every 3 to 4 minutes. Roughly, this small lamb pieces, they take about 15 to 20 minutes to cook. We will come back to it. This looks so good right now. This is exactly how it should be looking. And I can see that the lamb pieces are not exactly cooked yet and the water is evaporating. So I'm going to add half a cup of hot water, which I have boiled in a kettle here, and place the lid back on it, let it simmer for another 10 minutes at the most, and then it'll be ready to go in a serving dish. Here is our 5-spiced lamb stew. 5 spices mixed together, sauteed with onion, tomatoes, ginger, garlic, scallions, bay leaf, and some boneless lamb pieces. Cooked together, simmered together, and we get a beautiful 5-spiced lamb stew. So plain white rice, and again to refresh your memory, 1 cup of uncooked rice, put in with 2 cups of water, simmered on stove from medium to low flame for about 10 to 12 minutes, covered with a lid, gives you this plain white rice. We will serve 5-spiced lamb stew over the plain white rice and try it out. Amazing. So we did it. We took those 5 essential spices in our spice cabinet. We mixed them, we ground them together, and we came up with a mixture which we used in Bombay bruschetta. We used in minced meat in a crispy cup and 5-spiced lamb stew. We came out of boundaries again. We used meat in a crispy cup, vegetables on a bruschetta, spices in the lamb in a manner that we didn't do it before. All of these spices and their aromas and ingredients, fresh, healthy, tasty, mixing together in your mouth is what I call cooking without boundaries. See you next time. I would share some helpful tips from my kitchen. You know, the 5 spices that we pounded, I have a little bit of leftover here. So what I'm going to do is put it in a Ziploc bag and seal it, airtight it, and refrigerate it. You can keep it for good few weeks, maybe a month, to have it smelling as fresh as it is today. And I often do that with my leftover spices. Another helpful tip is, when I start cooking, just before the dishes start, the first thing I do when I come to my kitchen is put a kettle of water to boil. Very handy when you really need it to add to a little bit to your meat or rice or anything else. Hope it is helpful. Any question, any tips, write to Reema@sharontv.com. See you next time.